The college football experience, bowl games, preview and picks part 2 on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Game Time tickets make the perfect holiday gift. Sign up at GameTime.co. Use that promo code CFBX for $20 off. Once again, GameTime.co, promo code CFBX.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, bowl season, preview and picks part 2, take 2. Oh man, the bowl games are going on. I don't even know how the hell I hit that bowl game last night, as Frank Captain Harris just said, you know what, not gonna play. I'll warm up, but I won't play. And but somehow, some way, your boy came through. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
I mean, ball season rocking, portal's rocking, coach is still being hired. Signing day, I don't even know that shit matters anymore, does it? I think it does, maybe.
A little bit.
Factor something.
But this is an early signing day.
How does that work?
They can sign again. They sign again in the
main one's in February, right?
Yeah, it's all fucked up. I don't know what's going on. But glad to be here. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Oh, no, you can hear.
That's a guy. I don't know what the hell he did last night.
That's 3 straight days of drinking right there.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe COVID mixed in there. You know,
got that Rona.
Got that Rona.
So we should have kept you on mute.
Yes. We're also joined by third man in the booth, the DFS god himself. Look, it might be bowl games. You might be playing guys you never heard of. But yeah, we still invite you to come play DFS with us, all right? Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving, former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. What's up, guys?
Oh, yeah. You know.
It's the holidays. It's about time to listen to some holiday music.
It's true. This is right up there with Mariah Carey, you know.
Does she do Christmas music?
I don't know. She does that one song.
I feel like back in the day, you would have like great artists doing Christmas music. Now it's like the shittiest music, the shittiest artists do Christmas songs.
Michael Bublé?
Are there any more great artists?
Touche.
They're out there. You got to search, buddy. You really got to search. One of them.
True.
His name Pick Dundee.
The other is whoever sang the Bosworth song.
Yeah, it's true. Whoever sang that about me.
The other is
all the artists are dead. Even Jared from Subway got had, right?
Hello.
Folks, the portal, signing day, bowl games with how'd you guys feel? I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of money riding on UTSA. And right before the game kicked, they're like, yeah, Frank Harris isn't playing. I'm like, son of a bitch. But somehow, some way, what were they down 17-0? They come storming back.
Boom.
They get the dub in. They cover.
Lots of comebacks.
None of you guys bet. None of you guys bet that game. I was just
I did.
Oh,
I was
okay.
I was on in the same boat as you on UTSA. I watched most of the first half, other than when UTSA pulled away with their last touchdown with under a minute left in the first half. So I saw it was 17-14. Marshall was up. And I was like, I don't feel good about this. I'm going to bed. So I woke up pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I mean, UTSA gets their first ever bowl win. They had not won a bowl game prior to that.
Wow.
Yeah,
was that as big a comeback as the Old Dominion Western Kentucky game?
No, that was ridiculous.
Prior?
That was fucking just stupid. I had money on Old Dominion. Me and CJ Sullivan had money on Old Dominion.
Yeah,
I mean,
this comeback was just 14-0. It wasn't.
That was the Old Dominion Western Kentucky game. That was a fake game, right?
That
didn't really happen,
28-0?
right? Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
28-0. How about a 4th and 20? 4th and goal from the 20, and it's just a wide open running back into the end zone. No one's guarding him.
Like, come on.
What are we even trying?
As much as we hate on bowl season, there's actually been some pretty entertaining games so far. Those two that we mentioned. Also,
the best one was the App State game.
Miami App State game. Yeah,
that one. He had like 47 fumbles. It was in pouring rain.
Football is entertaining. It doesn't matter who's playing. Colby has said this for a long time.
I always said, players my ass. All right. I've gotten look, you don't want to have me around for these former players. They're like, oh, you got to have, I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Get the fuck out of here.
Come join us because football is entertaining. Yes.
It's all about the players. Not really. A little bit, but kind of love the game. All right.
Well, let me ask you this. Boise had a little bit of a lead on, UCLA, correct?
Yeah. And I was
Cal did on Texas Tech too.
Actually, guys, here's what I figured out. Okay, the only ones that I had a strong feel on, right? That you really have to know something, right? Was Jacksonville State. I got it at -2.5. And then UCLA. The others were so blatantly obvious. I think we should apply our MAC logic because Georgia Southern, Ohio's 3rd string running back, ran for like 1,000 yards, right? Georgia Southern there's photos of them at the fucking casino at 4 a.m. They have an 11 a.m. kick. All right. So I'm using the MAC logic. Everyone I know was on Georgia Southern, right? Every single thing I've heard was everyone was on Georgia Southern.
Well, that's funny because first off, Patty C and I were on Ohio.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that's because Patty C doesn't pay. He's not paying attention to who's out, and he's just saying, "Hey," right? So
it was kind of a homer pick.
Addition by subtraction, right?
Okay.
So, but my thing is, it's like the Maxian logic is like, if I think this team's gonna win, they're not because Las Vegas needs to make money. I listened to like 30 other podcasts that were doing the bowl games. Every single person was on Georgia Southern. Every single person was on App State, right? Miami, Ohio covered, right?
Yeah.
And so this is what I mean. One of the biggest locks was Old Dominion because Austin Reed, we find out late, doesn't play. Right. So Western Kentucky had nobody. And somehow they win
because their backup looked awful. He got pulled quickly, and they trot their 3rd stringer out there. He looks like freaking Steve Young or something.
Well, the 3rd string quarterback was in the portal too. Hey, all you pussies out there in the portal, why don't you play the bowl game like that Warrior? Like that 2022 Warrior, 2023 Warrior, whoever the fuck his name is.
Well, that's a funny thing because just because you're in the portal doesn't mean you can't play this game. So there are some guys that will play. I think it just depends on the person, whether they've signed with another team and whether the coaching staff allows them to. Because
I think 2023 has the most pussies on the history of planet Earth. All right, the history of planet Earth, the most pussies of all time.
Well, I think that'll probably be topped by 2024. We're going in that direction.
Yes.
Well, you guys make a good point, though.
Aren't you excited to tell your children, talk to your children at night, read them bedtime stories? Right?
This is the most pussy day in world history.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I'm going to read to my son. I still have my dad's Rambo 3 book.
It's like that bit from Office Space where he's like, every day I wake up is the worst day of my life. Remember, he's like talking to the shrink.
And the shrink's like, dude, that's messed up.
That's us right now. The audience is our shrink.
One of my
this
favorite.
is the most pussy day in the history of the universe.
One of my favorite moments of high school was I had a book report that I was going to do. It was like, I think freshman year, maybe 8th grade. No, it was 9th grade, I think. And the teacher that approved my book, she had maternity leave. So she leaves. We get this interim teacher that basically says, I think I was doing a story on fucking Walter Payton or some shit. I don't even remember, but they said, no, you can't do this sports thing. Right. So it's like, it's gotta be a fictional book. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm super pissed off. I go home to my dad's den, and my dad, not necessarily not known as a reader, but
not the most well read.
Yeah. But we're there. I'm looking at all these books. He's got all these weird fucking books. Like, they don't make any sense. Like, and then one of them is Rambo 3, the novel, which was done after the movie. It was not like Rambo 1 First Blood is based on a book by David Morrell. No, Rambo 3, like the movie made so much money. They're just like, let's fucking put it in, let's write it in book form, release it. So she told me it had to be fiction. So here's the thing. We get to class. We all have to read a section from your book for one chapter from your book.
Hold on. I thought Rambo 3 was based on a true story.
The Russians were. It was.
All this time.
So it was
you
hilarious.
mean one man didn't kill half the Russian army? Unbelievable.
It's under investigation still. Like, it's like the JFK documents. We won't know until 2084. But I got to read it. It was fantastic because, I'm sitting there, I grabbed the book, and she doesn't know what it's going to be, but it's got to be a fictional novel. And I'm just sitting there saying, John Rambo rescues Colonel Troutman. He pulls out his RPG and fires it into a village, right? And just this woman's face as a teacher, she just couldn't believe that.
Little girls are crying in the class.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a great moment, and my buddy Chris, who fought for our country, he said, that's the minute I didn't know who Colby was, but I was like, this dude's cool.
I knew we were going to be friends.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be friends when you were reading Rambo 3 to the fucking class.
I bet you that got you a couple of the ladies in the class too. They're playing.
Oh, yeah.
Who is this guy?
Let me tell you
Planted
something.
that seed in 3rd grade, and that blossomed in fucking.
Yeah, this is like middle school or something, right?
I think 8th or 9th. 8th or 9th. Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing.
You're not reading Rambo in 3rd grade, Patty C. Come on.
I would.
Maybe you did.
I had access.
Yeah.
But,
I don't believe that, actually. I feel like Colby would have been reading something similar at that time.
John Rambo the vet gets the girls wet. That's a quote.
That's what they said.
Quote.
Yeah. Okay. What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. We were talking about bowl games, but I mean, who cares? All right.
Sure.
Anyway.
You made an interesting point
about the Maction.
Well, about that, but also third stringers should stick around because you're not wasting any eligibility. You get 4 games before you.
Yeah, but people are afraid to play football. They think their value. This is what's so fucking hilarious. There's like, oh, I'm so important. I'm so fucking important.
Yeah.
And then they're just gonna go and be out of the NFL in 2 years. And what was that? Wasn't one of those guys working with you, like a tight end for the Denver Broncos?
Oh yeah, I was working at a call center.
Yeah, you had like a 4-year career.
Who is the guy?
You glad you pissed away the last times you could play football. One of the some of the last times you could play football for fucking what? And then you end up working at a call center. Right?
Yeah, he worked with me, and we both lived in Pacific Beach in San Diego. And he was like, I was like, hey, where do you live, man? Maybe we can hang out sometime.
Whole fuck. You know what? I have dreams right now where I just like, could we just go back and play a football game? Can we just go back and play a fucking football game? And
all I'm thinking about is Shannon Sharp working at a call center right now.
That's how he got his break into show business. He started off at a call center, right?
This guy stonewalled me. I was like, buddy.
Yeah. Who the fuck are you?
You work in the cubicle next to me. I'm not that impressed right now.
You got Cap Bozo working next to you in the fucking cubicle, thinking he's the next fucking Jesus. Anyway, my point is that there's just so much fucking. Every time I sign in on Twitter and see all these opt-outs, I'm like, who the fuck are you? You're like a 5th string running back and you're opting out. What are you doing?
They just want to go home for Christmas, see some old family and friends, maybe, some girls from high school or something.
That's right.
So did you guys agree with my logic? So I switched to my logic, but I was on the SGP show, and I said, wait a second, I think Old Dominion's going to dominate Western Kentucky, so let's pick Western Kentucky. That hit. then I'll be honest, the UTSA one stayed true. So, and I actually felt good about that because Captain Harris was playing, but he didn't play. But on the show, it was working out. That's my new logic moving forward, unless there's an obvious one, and there's a couple obvious ones out there that I feel good about. But I think that's the big thing there. Now, I will say, before we get into picking the bowl games, the portal, coaching hires.
Real quick about that Marshall game. You were a big Jets fan. You were a big Chad Pennington fan. Cole Pennington, 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Fantastic.
Similar stat line to his old pop.
No, his pops would have 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but an average completion of 1.6 yards.
True.
All right. So Chad Morton out of the backfield, 130 catches.
Charlie check down.
Maybe after the 4th interception, they bring in the 3rd string guy, right? Because
That
Cole
was
Pennington was
one
2nd
game.
string.
Right.
Maybe after the 5th interception.
But you're getting the headlines. Former NFL star quarterback, son playing at a game.
What's a record for most interceptions thrown in a game?
I remember watching
by one quarterback, not by.
I was about to say. I remember in the NFL, I watched a game where Ty Detmer threw 7 interceptions.
I remember that for the Eagles.
I thought he was with the Browns at the time, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But he definitely did it. Might even been Niners. I don't even fucking know. He played on so many damn teams.
What about the guy from Pitt? How many picks did he throw?
Nathan Peterman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely had an interception every time he threw the ball. Like Detmer had a longer career. Yeah.
Rex Grossman that threw 4 interceptions in one game to D'Angelo Hall.
Yeah.
And he was like, I throw at him again. And everyone's like,
Well, Grossman
maybe
had that Monday night game against the Cardinals, where I feel like every play was a pick 6, and the Bears still somehow won it. And Dennis Green was like, "You want to crown him? You crown him." It's like the Bears were Peanut Tillman was forcing a fumble every other fucking play.
Bears football at its best.
All right, so we do have some coaching hires. Troy went out and hired Gerard Parker, the Notre Dame offensive coordinator. Patty C, your thoughts on 1 year of being an offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, propelling you to the head coaching spot of the Troy Trojans?
It seems early. What did Notre Dame finish statistically this year? Let me pull that one up. But I thought they did pretty well. Number 8 in points per game. In terms of total offense, they were number 30. So good year offensively, but still, he was a tight ends coach before that. It's kind of a stretch.
Yeah. Nick, your thoughts on Gerard Parker getting hired by the Troy Trojans?
I think it's definitely a stretch. I don't see any connection to Troy, right? So I'm kind of surprised he's kind of picked out of nowhere here. I don't know. I mean, like, I didn't know John Summerall before they hired him either. So maybe we give them the benefit of the doubt, see what happens. But on the surface, it's questionable hire for sure.
Yeah, and then we did see Tim Beck, who was the offensive coordinator, not the same Tim Beck that was Minnesota's head coach, but Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator of New Mexico State with Diego Pissing Pavia. He took the offensive coordinating position at Vanderbilt. I hope he realizes that Vanderbilt has no players.
Yeah, seriously. Why don't you just stay at New Mexico State? I mean, I'm sure it's a bump in salary. But
yeah, you get that SEC blood money. But he also brought in, so he knows Diego Pissing Pavia is coming back to New Mexico State. And shout out to Jerry Kill's statements about he'll be in Mexico. Did you see that shit?
I did. That was hilarious.
Oh man, that's
only going to make that New Mexico State rivalry all the better. So I'm looking forward to that. Years to come.
Did you see that shit?
No, but I heard he was mad.
He was pissed because they had suspended Pissing Pavia because he pissed on the logo.
Yeah.
And when they had to play the bowl game at Albuquerque, they weren't allowed to practice there, even though the other team was. And he basically had caught out the AD and said, did he say something like, if I kill him, I'll be in Mexico? He say something like that.
He said something about drinking margaritas.
Yeah,
in Mexico.
I'll be in my margarita in Mexico or some shit like that. Go check it out. It's a great story. But so their offensive coordinator heads out to Vanderbilt, and with him, because Pissing Pavia is back, he brings Blaze Berlowitz, the backup quarterback. Damn it, man. I love that quarterback combo of Pissing Pavia and Blaze Berlowitz. But now Berlowitz is going off to Vanderbilt. guess you're gonna have to scorch SEC defenses. They don't want that
we'll
Berlowitz. They don't want that Berlowitz heat. All right?
That fire might be put out pretty quickly.
I mean, no,
Hey, New Mexico State 1-0 against the SEC this year.
We called Stone Lubanowitz's greatness.
That's
I think
true.
Blaze Berlowitz might have some of that.
Blaze Berlowitz. Also, New Mexico. Remember Bronco Mendenhall? He's the new head coach there. We're talking about that rivalry heating up. Jason Beck he hired to be his offensive coordinator coming over from Syracuse. He also hired Robert and I's son to that staff.
Ooh.
Loading up.
Getting the crew back together.
The band is back together there. I like all of those hires. You know, I think we'll see what New Mexico State does on the offense coordinating front. Maybe they promote within. I don't know. But the portal, let's talk about the portal. It's been crazy. And the one that I just saw was Reese Poffenberger entering the portal.
Big Poff, huh?
Led the FCS in passing touchdowns. All the FCS quarterbacks are in there. Tyler Huff from Furman, Idaho's Giovanni McCoy. All of the ones not playing in the national championship, I feel like entered and they're in the portal. Matthew Sluka, who I'm imagining ends up at James Madison. But here's the thing. East Carolina landed Caden Hauser from Michigan State. I got like 20 people tagging me. This is a great get for East Carolina. I'm like,
Hey, he's better than what they had this year.
True, but like he's a lawn chair. But I'm saying like you could have got Big Poff. You could have waited a couple days,
right?
And Big Poff could come to Greenville, chase scattered ass. But no. I mean, I don't know. Let's talk about some of these gets. What do you make of that, Caden Hauser? Patty C. It's a good name, Hauser. It sounds like a villain in like a Die Hard movie. But
isn't that Total Recall?
That's right. That's right. Hauser.
Getting a little more information on him right now.
He started
4-star.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we had a 4-star transfer out. He was here. Mason Garcia, I guess where he's at fucking Austin P now or some shit like that.
Maybe, look, give the recruiting rankings shit all you want, but often, they hit. I would say statistically speaking, you're more likely to get a good.
I don't think it's that hard to look at like 1,000 football players and say this guy's better than this guy. But I mean, I don't think they do a good job.
Still, it's you'd rather have a 4-star than a 2-star, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
And with Hauser too, I think he was a freshman this year, so you have a few years.
But I'd rather not have a Michigan State quarterback ever on my roster.
Well, I mean, he only threw for over 200 yards one time this year.
That's what I'm saying. For the amount of people that tag me in that, like, what do you guys think? This guy's Broadway Joe? What the fuck happened? It's not like
he was lighting up those Big Ten defenses.
Some of the big transfers that happened this week: Will State Park Rogers, whatever the fuck. He's now at Washington. Do you think we're looking at Michael Penix 2.0, NC Nick?
I trust the coaching staff there too. Obviously, they targeted a specific quarterback and got him. And we saw Will Rogers be pretty successful in the air raid under Mike Leach. So I think it's a pretty good get, even though he didn't look very good this year. But I'm going to say that's not his fault. I'm going to say that whole Mississippi State offense was complete trash, as was the coaching staff.
Yeah. Patty C, do you think lawn chair Rogers are going to work out in Washington?
I mean, he's used to throwing the ball around. So, I think
that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Washington seems to be a little more downfield than what Mike Leach was doing, which is, obviously short to intermediate. So there's going to have to be an adjustment, but I think he might have the gun for it. And he's somewhat mobile, right?
Is he Mark Rippon 2.0? He's not somewhat mobile.
No. Very much launch.
He's Mark Rippon. We have Mark Rippon back in college football. All right. He's back in the great state of Washington too. Dante Moore, UCLA starting quarterback for a couple games, who flipped from Oregon to UCLA, now transfers to Oregon where he'll back up Dylan Gabriel. He's going to need to back up Dylan Gabriel because he's good for getting knocked out on that bullshit slide at least once or twice a year. What a great quarterback room the Ducks have.
Yeah, there's Dante Moore, and who's the other one they picked?
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. Man,
I'm surprised Moore went there though. Like you would think he was going to transfer somewhere where he'd probably start.
Money.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense
for 1 year. Just sit there.
I guess
Dylan Gabriel will be knocked out for two games. He'll get 2 games
late
in.
slide. Yeah,
because still redshirt.
Does Oregon really have that much more money where they can spend up on 2 quarterbacks?
Well, judging how UCLA, judging Mick Cronin's comments about UCLA.
Yeah, which is unbelievable. Oh, you're not a blue blood at UCLA, apparently.
We don't have any money to pay these players. All right.
Yeah. What do you say?
How did UCLA not have any money?
They are apparently in the debt. That was one of the things. Like they're in like crazy debt, which is just fucking hilarious. Yeah, is Gavin Newsom running their fucking institution? What's going on here?
Indirectly, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They've been complaining about it, but anyway, what do you guys think? I'm going to rattle off a couple other ones. I want you guys to pick out who could be the Penix or the Jaden Daniels. I was on Jaden Daniels and Penix being great additions to their team. So, I mean, subscribe to the college football experience. I was not on Bo Nix. I said maybe. But DeQuan Finn is now the Baylor Bears starting quarterback coming over from Toledo.
I mean, they had a hell of a year. They got themselves a winner.
Syracuse got Kyle Honda McCord.
I think that's a very good pickup for that team.
Yeah.
For them, it is. And I was the same person last week saying, I don't know about McCord, but for Syracuse to land him, I think it's a very good get.
Yeah. Arizona State landed Sam Levitt, who also started some at Michigan State. Curtis Rourke, and these are the breaks, is now.
I had to look that up. It's Curtis Blow, and these are the breaks.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was for the fucking longest time.
When did you look that up? Tell me like you were in the middle of something important.
I think
you're
I was
looking up,
just sitting around, and then I was just thinking of you saying Curtis Rourke, and these are the breaks. I thought of it like 100 times. Like, damn it, I need to look this up. And I was like, Curtis Blow, but I do see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Curtis with a K.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, there it is. He is now at Indiana. See, we thought that they're going to get Jordan McLeod. They get Curtis Rourke. So now McLeod, I don't know where the hell he's going, but nice get there for Indiana. AJ Swan, Vanderbilt starting quarterback, transfers to LSU. Aiden Childs, Oregon State's backup but highly touted recruit, is now at Michigan State. Evan Simon, I know Patty C's excited for this one. He goes from Temple to Rutgers. I'm sorry, from Rutgers to Temple. Same school, right?
Wait, is EJ Warner?
EJ Warner's now at Rice. Committed to the Rice.
Oh, he went to Rice. I
Yeah,
don't think I saw that.
He's gonna light it up at Rice.
All right.
Get a future on Rice to win the national championship.
I like it.
As I touched on, Blaze Berlowitz is now at Vanderbilt. Anytime I can hammer that home. Minnesota got a couple guys. Max Brosmer from New Hampshire, big time FCS quarterback, but they also got Logan Fife, no relation to Dugan.
Got a running back too
from Fresno State. Yeah, they got Cy Bangura from Ohio. Yeah.
Let me just say, I like that this generation is bringing back some of the like 80s level nicknames. I saw a guy
like Blaze. You mean
Blaze? There's a guy named Turbo. He goes by Turbo. That's fucking.
I like that. As American
Blaze
Gladiators
might be his given name.
It could be. I think both of those dudes were American Gladiators. Blaze and Turbo. They're bringing back the 80s strong.
Let's go. Let's
next up is Nitro.
Yeah, exactly. Blaze, Laser.
Mitch Griffiths from Wake Forest to Marshall. All right. So out of those names, those are just the ones this week. Obviously, there was a bunch more last week. Is there one that stands out? I mean, I think Aiden Childs is the one that I think everyone knows is going to be a stud, but is there one that you think Kyle McCord could be in the Heisman race at Syracuse, NC Nick?
Come on, man. In order to be in the Heisman race, you got to be like a 9-10 win team. I don't know if Syracuse is there yet with a very unproven head coach. So no, I'm not going to say McCord is going to be in the Heisman race.
So Will Rogers,
huge leap right there. Yeah, I think so. I'm curious what Finn does at you said Baylor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's very, very good in the MAC. Not the most polished passer, but he is a good playmaker. I'm curious as to what he'll do. I think he might be a good fit there.
Patty, so you were saying Evan Simon from Rutgers to Temple is the one that stood out to you, right?
Yeah. He's definitely going to blow up. I mean, we've seen so much of his performance at Rutgers. No,
Tyler Van Dyke to Wisconsin, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
someone forgot to tell him. I guess the dairy raid might, year two.
It didn't really work out for Mordecai.
Yeah. Jordan McLeod was Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year.
Well, that's what's interesting is here. We only got like a couple more weeks of the portal, but there's a lot of names still out there. Jordan McLeod, KJ Jefferson, Cam Ward. I know the Miami Hurricanes have been talking to Cam Ward. Malachi Nelson, a 5-star from USC. And I think that's always what's fascinating about the portal. You saw USC they've been talking to Will Howard. That pissed off Malachi Nelson. He's in the portal. He's the number one recruit quarterback wise.
I thought that was kind of a strange get. I'm like, Howard's a good quarterback, but
he didn't actually 100% land there yet. they're projecting, they're forecasting him to USC.
How many years does he have left?
I think just one. I think.
And Nelson couldn't wait that 1 year.
He's elsewhere. That's 2023, and that's quarterbacks. They've always been pussies, but now they're even bigger pussies. So now they so Malachi Nelson, I don't know where he ends up, but also you got Malik Murphy, who was a highly touted recruit out of LA that plays for Texas. You got Ty Thompson. That's another one with all that Oregon news. He left. He left before they got Dante Moore. But yeah, I mean, there's a slew. DJU obviously still out there. Reese Poffenberger. I got to give him his due.
I feel like Malik Murphy could be like a Bo Nix type. Like you simplify an offense. I don't know if Oregon's offense is super simplified, but for whatever reason, he was able to perform way better at Oregon than he was at Auburn. Maybe Murphy, with all those physical attributes he has.
What's crazy
blossoms.
Is you think about how many spots are out there right now. Like, I feel like a lot of them have been figured out.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, I know Miami is the one that's a big question mark. I think Miami
and
Florida
Ward
State
is like De'Aaron King 2.0. I mean, he's like the same dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would work.
But those two schools, I'm trying to think of other schools that might have
Cristobal,
some holes.
could definitely use a dude that can make it happen when his offense isn't working, which is pretty.
But I thought that true freshman that came in for Van Dymes, Emory Williams, is that his name? I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did. He did look good.
They've always been able to get a guy of that quality. I think back to like Ja'Cory Harris, like a dude that pretty good. Will get you wins in games that you should win. He'll make it happen. But Williams didn't strike me as the guy that's going to lead them to a national championship. He wasn't that good. That's what Miami should be able to.
True freshman. I mean,
yeah, give him some time, but still, sometimes you see it early on. Not saying he wasn't good. He has wheels, but still, you'd like to see Miami if they're top 5 recruiting class this year. If they're going to do that consistently, they might start to need a really great quarterback to take the next step.
Yeah,
he's no Frank Costa for sure.
And we think
Gino Toretta.
We think Cristobal. This is like a make or break it year, right?
Sure.
Moving forward,
right?
Yeah, I think it's a big time year for our
year 3.
Yeah,
he probably needs to show improvement.
Yeah.
What does he need to get?
He has
9?
a horrible record in the here. Let me pull that.
Their
up
schedule is easy as shit, but that game against Florida, I'm going to say it right now. In the swamp, A, they're going to lose to open the season, and B, that's going to have a massive impact on the whole playoff race.
So far, he is 6-10 in ACC play in 2 years. 12-12 overall in 2 years,
and hasn't won on the road, right?
Yeah, I think he hasn't won a fucking.
No. You know what? That was snapped against BC in the finale.
That's right. That's right. His first.
Oh man.
Yeah, and Weehawk, we talked about that. Obviously, Western Carolina, Kerwin Bell's son is the offense coordinator. Who they had the number 1 offense in the FCS. He's Pitt's new offense coordinator. Look at Pat Narduzzi getting it done,
cutting edge.
Maybe. Hey, this could be like. Remember when he got Mark Whipple? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean. I think it's a big year for Cristobal though, but they're going to end up with either Cam Ward or Malik Murphy. But there's not many teams out there that to me have the gaping hole of at the quarterback position.
I've heard of glamping. What's glamping?
Glamping hole.
That's
glory hole,
folks.
A glamorous glory hole. That's glaping.
Folks, how you doing? Welcome to the college football experience. Look, I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog Fantasy is a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. They got NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, and college football. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. I highly recommend this app. I mean, I'm sweating out some action right now, but they have college football and college basketball props that are just absolutely fantastic. So watch along, make picks, and maybe make a little extra cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. I felt like the lawyer in My Cousin Vinny. It's like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Yeah, I don't know. With National Recruiting Day or Early Signing Day, whatever the fuck it's called these days. National Signing Day. Let me ask you that. What NC Nick, where do you put, how big is recruiting in 2023 as opposed to where it was, say, 5 years ago?
Kind of hard to quantify that. I mean, it's definitely not as big as it was. It's still important, though. I think you still need to fill out your roster, fill out your depth chart, get depth in general from recruiting. Because most of the time, I mean, what you might bring in like 10, 12 transfers tops. Some teams less, some teams a little bit more. So it's still important for sure. But
yeah,
I mean, I think the transfer portal takes all the headlines because we know the players.
True. That is true. But the players are older. They've proven to me
they're
that
going to get immediate play time.
Yeah,
for sure. It's no longer just, projecting.
National Signing Day today. CBS Sports covering it right here. I got their winners and losers. Winners is Georgia, despite Dylan Raiola, their quarterback, number one quarterback, who flipped to Nebraska.
Hell of a get from Matt Rule.
Yeah, they were able to flip one of the top ranked safeties, KJ Bolden from Florida State, to Georgia. Tough, and they're playing, but he's not playing in that game.
Neither's most of the guys for Florida State.
Yeah, Jared Verse. I mean, what a fucking
the running back, the tight end Bell, Benson, the running
Trey
back.
Benson. Yeah, they had players hit the portal too.
Yeah,
one of their backup quarterback that played in the ACC championships at San Diego State now.
Well, he sucks.
I'm just saying though.
I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
It's a waste. These games are all a fucking waste. Let's be honest. Don't stay tuned for our picks, but these games are all a fucking waste.
You really can't take much away from it. Of course, am I going to laugh if Florida State beats Georgia anyway? But it doesn't really mean much.
Tomorrow is my last day of work for the year, so
Nice.
Damn straight I'm going to be watching these games, and we're going to be playing DFS, and we're going to, even if games that I don't feel great about, I'm going to throw a few bucks on them.
Of course.
So as bad as it is, it's still football.
Exactly. And
glorified spring games.
Yeah. We still bet on them. The other winners, though, as far as
this is exactly what you have been proposing with the FCS games. We basically have these worthless fucking FBS games during bowl season where a lot of the players from this year weren't playing. Why not have the same thing in the spring with the FBS versus FCS?
Yeah,
and they would kill. They would have great ratings.
Yeah, I know. NC Nick didn't like my idea, but I was just saying, I
think it's a good idea. I mean, when you think about what we're actually watching right now and the fact that it is still entertaining, that might be entertaining too.
Yeah. They got to play at some cooler locations. How many of these games are just, I don't know, just play some, they should just pick out of a hat. You know what I mean? Put every university's stadium in a fucking hat. Just grab one.
I like it.
Say you're playing in Minneapolis. You're playing in Boca Raton. You know what I mean?
Big lottery.
Casey Hightower in the chat says he just tuned in to see Patty C do a shotgun.
Well, there you go.
You sure you want to do this? You sound like you've been living.
This is going to cure my COVID right now. Thank you, Kason. I appreciate your concern.
And Jubio Farms is correct. My liver is going to take a major L with all this time off coming up.
That is true. That's one of the things. It's already started for me. I've gotten a lot of holiday dinners. The invites keep coming. The whiskeys keep coming. And it's just like shit.
Hard to say no.
Very hard to say no. The other winners in CBS's thing that they released: Georgia, Nebraska, Ohio State, Alabama. Hey, we've heard of all them. Nebraska is the one that I guess would be the surprise, but
you got
former blue blood, right?
Still,
I think this was the most. This is the year where there's been more of the 5-star spread out in a long time. I saw the stat.
10. This is the first year ever where the top 10 all go into 10 different schools. This is my point that I've been making for fucking years here.
Yeah, and now it has finally come to
and fruition. All these coaches that were saying, "Hey, no, this is ridiculous. The rich is only going to get richer." No, they're not. You fucking idiot. This is simple math here. If Missouri has a shit ton of money or whoever, if UNLV, then they're going to be able to buy one player that would probably be going elsewhere. I don't know if UNLV is the greatest example, but you know what I mean.
Well, the difference is that back in the day, before all this, if one team was trying to be on the come up and they had money to spend, well, they were going to get sanctions by the NCAA for cheating.
Well,
because the teams that were cheating and spending money were protected by the NCAA.
Yes.
So now it's a fair ball game. It's even field.
Well, and here's another one. Alabama, the last few cycles, 7 and 9 5-star recruits in the last 2 years. This year, 3.
There you go.
And the NIL, I don't even think you can count the NIL for 2 years ago. I think this would really be the second year.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess I think this every year it's becoming
that's
more.
What I'm saying.
More powerful.
Like,
this is the first year that I'm hearing players like leverage the NIL during signing day and be like, "Any more money from you? More money from you?" And like, what?
Why not?
Yeah, fuck it. Hey, this is
for the Chimichanga Bowl. Yeah,
Kaysen and the Chimichanga Bowl. Here we go.
There you go. YouTube.com/the college experience. Coors Lights are being chugged. All right, John Denver's happy. Not John Denver. John Elway.
Coors Original here.
That's a harder chug, I think.
Much harder.
You know
True.
what I mean?
But this is water with alcohol.
It's also a much better beer.
True.
That's a banquet beer.
You guys have like a 2023 beer.
When's the last time you've been to a banquet, NC Nick?
It's been a while.
That's what they serve there, apparently.
I don't think I've ever been invited to a banquet in all my fucking life. All right?
Any banquets I've been to didn't have a Coors Original. That's
pretty sure we had like youth league. When we won the youth league basketball championship in 13-14 basketball.
Yeah. That was a banquet?
I think. Well, it was a party, a pizza party. I called it a banquet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like Mickey Mantle. I was eating ass under the cheerleaders. All right. No.
All right, let's pick some games.
Hold on. The losers were Florida and UCLA. A bunch of players have apparently stolen, flipped, all that shit. I don't know how much stock you put in this, but Billy Napier is going to be fired one way or another. Because did you see the SEC schedules were released? Let's talk
we need to do a podcast on that because it's pretty interesting.
I just want to quickly hit on Florida's 2024 schedule.
Yeah, when I say the Florida Miami game to open the season is going to have playoff implications, it's not because Florida is a playoff contender or even Miami is. It might be because Miami is, but I think Florida is just going to be the SEC being able to flex on the ACC when it really counts.
Okay, besides the FCS game, which is Samford, right? Who I think almost beat Florida a couple years ago, but I want you to rank these real quick. All right. So this is their schedule. The Miami Hurricanes. Then they have Samford. Throw Samford out though. Then, and they're home in the Swamp. Then Texas A&M. Then at Mississippi State. Then they get a bye week. They're home to UCF. Then they're at Tennessee in the rivalry game. Home to Kentucky. They get a second bye week because a bunch of these teams have second bye weeks. That's not just Florida. No SEC hate on this part. Then they have the cocktail party against Georgia. Then they're at Texas, then home to LSU, then home to Ole Miss, then at Florida State.
Is it the hardest schedule ever constructed?
I don't know about ever because there was a couple where they didn't Stanford have like a 12 Power Fives?
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking close though.
And did you hear me?
No,
exactly.
Sorry, I cut out there for a second. So they're playing Florida State, Miami, and UCF.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yeah, props to Florida. Jeez,
it's fucking fantastic to have those three. Yeah, that's right. So they pretty much play. This probably is the hardest schedule. I mean, I know you have the FCS in there, but Sanford's not a horrible FCS.
All those are great rivalries between the. Like I want to say Florida, Miami has a 2-game lead on Florida. They have a 2-game lead on Florida State. I think Florida has like a 8-game or 7-game lead on Florida State. Like that, all three of those are 50-50 games.
But what is the easiest? Because Mississippi State's in Starkville. So let's throw the FCS game out. What is the easiest game on the schedule? Because it's got to be.
Where's Vandy?
They don't play Vandy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So look, here's the 11 Power Fives: home to Miami, home to A&M, at Mississippi State, home to UCF, at Tennessee, home to Kentucky, who's owned them lately. The neutral game against Georgia, cocktail party, at Texas, home to LSU, home to Ole Miss, at Florida State.
How many of those teams were bowl teams this year?
Every team except Mississippi State. Mississippi State.
10 Power 5 bowl teams.
Yeah.
Well, I think when the season wraps up, we need to do an SEC scheduling podcast
and Big Ten. We can do Big Ten.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably break them up into 2 different ones. Because the one thing with and ACC and Big 12 with all the new teams.
Well, they haven't released theirs yet. Yeah,
true, but they will be being released sometime in the spring or in the late winter.
I know you're crossing the days off your calendar until Duke plays at Cal. I know you're excited for that one.
That's right.
But I just thought that's good.
This is where we're going to see if
Billy Napier's fired. There's
Miami going 10-2 against the shitty ACC or Florida going 6-6 against a tough SEC is preferable. Which school ends up A, being ranked higher, and B, long term benefiting from that. I think it's Miami. I think if you stay in a shitty conference, you're going to come up.
Yeah,
I think
with the exception of not making anywhere near as much money.
Well, yes. Maybe though. I mean, I wonder if I think a lot of this is timing. I think the SEC's been fucking super dominant for 15, 20 years now.
Sure.
When we first started getting into college football, I feel like it was much more equal, right? Across the landscape, as far as dominant conferences, kind of switch per year.
Yeah.
And but I wondered that shit changes, man. You know what I mean? By you throwing Oklahoma and Texas in here. I know the SEC and Big Ten are going to be loaded with all these new additions, but I also think someone's got to come up in these other things. And what might be easy now, 10 years from now, can be completely different. If Miami gets the ball back rolling and Florida State somehow stops bitching like the bitches they are. All right. And you know what I mean? And then Clemson, you never know. I mean, I don't know, but it's going to be fun.
Someone's got to win the games.
Yeah. All right. Enough talking about this shit. Let's talk about bowl games. All right. And by the way, shout out to Reese Poffenberger. Cause I did ride Albany money line and they lost 59-0 in Brookings.
Not his best game to go out.
It's been a while since I lost a game by 59. Since that Maryland Penn State game.
I don't even know if that one.
I think it was 59-0.
Oh man.
Yeah. Might've been 59-3. Might have been 59-3.
This was your worst loss ever?
No, it's either that or we got. Can you research that Maryland Penn State game?
Yeah,
I think it was 59-something. NC Nick's was Arizona State, which was what 70-7 or something, 70-13,
77-7. I think it was. I know it was 70-7.
Yeah. Don't give Arizona State another touchdown, okay?
It was 59-0.
Yeah, so back on par. You know what that means? I'm due for a great next couple weeks. All right, let's kick this thing off. Tomorrow, South Florida, Syracuse, in Del Boca Vista. So what? We got the Qs are without their head coach, Dino Babers. I actually thought he did a decent job. I don't know what's going on. He should be hired somewhere else. He could win at Kent State or something.
Yeah, I think the prevailing wisdom is that he did about as good a job as you can.
COVID was horrible
but there's only so long you can be mediocre.
You were at Syracuse during COVID. You're starting like a fullback at left guard. That was, I just think
unfair.
Should have gave him a little more time. But South Florida, Alex Golesh is having a good first year. He can cap it off. You just said they had a great recruiting day today, right?
Yeah, #1 group of 5 team apparently in the recruiting rankings.
So I can't believe they're getting points. And also the shredder is out for Syracuse, starting quarterback Garrett Schrader, also defensive end Leon Lowry Jr. out. I'm all over the Bulls here. You fuck with the Bulls, you get Golesh. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I mean, right? That has to make sense. I think that first off, they're both 6-6, but neither team.
But wait a second. If this makes sense, that means we should load up on Syracuse, right?
That's what I was about to say. I mean, if you want to test your theory here, right? But no, I'm on the Bulls. I think their offense is much more explosive. And I think their trajectory's up. They have their head coach, I think South Florida wins this.
Actually, I feel decent about this one. The other ones, I'm going to use my Maxion logic. Patty C, you were the one that said South Florida will win a national championship in the next 3 years.
I did not say that.
If something
they will win 10 games.
Outlandish.
Yeah.
As long as he's there, Golesh is there, they'll win 10 games 3 times in the next 6 years. The first one being year 3, and then 2 more in the next 3 years after that.
That's still pretty outlandish.
Yeah,
it's not that outlandish. They're getting better this year. I mean, they kept within a playoff team.
Getting a stadium on campus that helps.
Byron Brown. Listen to the total yardage leaders in college football and see if his name is in good company here. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Drake May, Dylan Gabriel, your boy Joey Aguilar. So maybe
that's right.
It doesn't mean that much. but Diego Pavia, Cameron Ward, Carson Beck, and Byron Brown at number 10.
Where's Blaze Berlowitz?
Blaze Burrow will be number 1 next year.
So we're
They
all
got a good quarterback.
So you're on South Florida.
I'm on
plus
South
3.
Florida. Yeah.
I think sprinkle that money line. Let's go. Also on Friday,
Where's that game being played again?
Boca Raton.
That's a nice home field advantage. Yeah.
Friday, Georgia Tech is catching 5.5 in Tampa, Florida against UCF. Now, this one, you have a couple players out for Georgia Tech. They had a good recruiting day today as well. Defensive end Kyle Kennard, who led the team in sacks. He's gone. Cornerback Keenan Johnson, gone. UCF, they lost Corey Thornton, who tied for most interceptions on the team. But besides that, we're looking at a solid game here. I feel like they're honoring George O'Leary because he coached these teams. But this game happened like the past 2 years. Once again, I thought this was a major fail by the bowl committee, but that's another story for another day. Look, I think UCF's going to cover, so that means I will take Georgia Tech plus 5.5. What are you doing here, NC Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I think both rosters are pretty much intact and both coaching staffs. So this is a rare bowl game where there's not that many players or coaches not playing or coaching. I think UCF is the better team, but in bowl season, I like to take the points because I think Georgia Tech. I mean, last time we saw them, they were hanging tough against Georgia. They kind of came out of nowhere this year and beat some good teams down the stretch, like North Carolina. I guess are they good? I don't know, but I'm gonna take the Yellow Jackets, and I see it at 5 now. Is that where we picking it at 5?
Yeah, I've seen it at 5.5 actually.
5.5, even better.
Yeah.
Give me the Yellow Jackets as a dog here.
Patty C, what are you doing here?
I do agree that Georgia Tech was pretty more impressive down the stretch, even though they played a couple good games early on. But John Rice Plumlee, he's got one more year, right?
No, I think he's a senior this year, right?
Not 100% sure on that.
I think he's a senior. Yeah.
Oh man, bye to JRP. But I think you guys are right, especially if it's a 5.5. I'm going Georgia Tech here.
Yeah, John Rice Plumlee is a senior, majoring in engineering. Yeah.
Wow, engineering too. Jeez. All right.
He'll be playing for the Durham Bulls, soon. So,
yeah, he's a baseball stud.
Yeah. So you're on UCF or Georgia Tech, Patty?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Yeah. All right. Saturday, December 23rd. It's a day filled with action. Arkansas State's laying 3 against Northern Illinois. This game, NC Nick, super excited about this one. This game, where the hell is this game being played? Is this in Florida too or Alabama?
I think Camellia Bowl, Montgomery, Alabama.
Wait, this is the Crampton Bowl, right?
No, Camellia.
Oh, Camellia.
Camellia Earhart.
It's being played at the Crampton Bowl.
Oh, okay.
They refined
That's
her.
the name of the stadium.
Gotcha. Camellia Earhart. Is that Amelia's sister?
Yeah, she went missing. She just went on back in the 70s, a lot of gals went to parties and they just went missing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Getting 70s
1870s. What the fuck are we talking about? Look, I think Arkansas State, with them being right there at Alabama, I think they're the better team. So that means they'll take Northern Illinois plus 3. They got Rocky Lombardi. It's hard to fade a Lombardi in December. And yeah, I think Arkansas State is the better team. So give me Northern Illinois plus 3. Sprinkle that money line.
They lost a lot of close games this year, Northern Illinois. So I feel like the money line is a nice play here, but certainly -3 or +3 rather. I'll take Northern Illinois.
NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I disagree. I'm gonna go Arkansas State, guys. We've seen some crazy line movement. Like when it first opened up, Arkansas State was getting a point. Now
that probably means like Rocky Lombardi.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe there's something that we don't know that's going to be announced 2 hours before kickoff. But Arkansas State hasn't been to a bowl game since 2019. I think they're more excited to be here and it's closer to home. I'm going to go Red Wolves.
No, I once again that you're overthinking this.
I'm not playing your game.
Right?
I'm gonna
It worked for me in Maction, remember?
Okay.
Those Maction shows, you said, damn it. I'm gonna start tailing Dundee. All right.
I did not. I was kicking ass in Maction, actually.
Was the other one that you got it right? Ohio versus who is it?
No, Miami, Ohio covered against App.
Okay, App. So that was MAC and Sunbelt. So here we go. Same thing.
There you go.
Well, and Ohio beat Georgia Southern.
Yeah, MAC and Sunbelt. I think you're onto something here.
The Sunbelt is just 1-3 straight up right now with bowl games. I hate to say it. Beating Sunbelt.
Wow.
Oh, and I got a lock against the Sunbelt team in a few minutes here.
Well, it better not be.
Troy
3 days
is laying 7.5 against Duke in the head coachless Birmingham Bowl. The headless horseman.
Headless coach. Yeah.
Headless
horseman bowl.
Head coachless horseman bowl.
It's
this game sucks ass.
Troy,
all right.
Duke.
I can't think of a shittier game. Everyone's on other teams. Give me the points. But wait, I think it's obvious to take the points. So you know what that means. Give me Troy minus 7.5.
Is it that obvious? Because I mean, Gunnar Watson and Kamani Vidal-Sassoon, the two best players for Troy, are still there. Last time I checked, at least.
But Troy's top defensive player, Jaden McDonald, is gone. I do like how they got the interim head coach Greg Gasparato. That's a great name. That should be the name of the bowl, the Gasparato Bowl.
You guys had a funny bit on the main show about that.
And then
are we gonna ignore the fact that Troy is on what a 9-game winning streak? And meanwhile,
I told you I'm taking Troy. I think Duke's the play. It's bowl season, so give me Troy. Lay in the 7.5.
Duke was never the team with the same
Duke's
team
got everybody gone. Jordan
without
Waters.
Riley Leonard.
Jordan Waters transferred to NC State. What a filthy. Where the hell is my?
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're gonna pay for it. Good night.
How disgusting are some of these transfers?
What would Duke to Wake or vice versa be a disgusting transfer?
I mean, Duke and NC State are not like big rivals on the football field. I mean, they played this year, and that was the first time in like 7 years.
Still disgusting in a way.
It's still disgusting. How about Mississippi State's starting corner who went to Ole Miss?
That's a lot worse.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're gonna pay for it. Good night.
Remember over the summer we got like a 1-star review because somebody didn't like that.
Yeah, and then I said, you know what? Give me another 1-star review because that guy is a.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're gonna pay for it. Good night.
Have you seen the amount of players that are out for Duke? It's like a fucking. It's like
now some of those guys who are in the portal,
like a Montana high school.
Some of those guys in the portal might still play.
Let me ask you guys this: where are you getting? Like, is there a place where I can see the starting lineups?
No,
like, who is playing and who's not?
Somewhat, they do somewhat reporting, but there's always additions to it. They don't have to release injury reports, so it's like
the place where you want to look, Pat, is called the internet.
I mean,
Al Gore invented it. They say
On3 did a good job with depth charts. I just don't see. I mean, I am not fucking diving deep and tracking day to day every single thing. I want to be able to pull this shit up.
You're diving deep into Coors Light.
You're damn right.
For me, Duke basketball, big win tonight. I'm riding Duke because I actually like what I saw from Grayson Loftus, the backup quarterback. He wasn't the first backup to come in when Leonard got hurt. That was Henry Beelan, who was awful. Grayson Loftus actually ended the year pretty good. And I think there's been some rumors about Malik Murphy and other quarterbacks potentially transferring in. So here's his chance to put a stake and say, no, I'm the quarterback next year.
Buddy, the whole fucking team is gone.
Plus, I'm
RJ, both the defensive tackles, the defensive end, one of your better linebackers, two guys in the secondary. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? Give me, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Both coaches are gone. So you're thinking Duke plus the 7.5 is the logical play. That's where you're fucking up. It is Troy minus 7.5. Lay it.
Yeah, it's definitely Troy minus.
It's also in Alabama. There's gonna be a Troy crowd. These private school pussy Duke fans aren't gonna go down to Birmingham.
Oh, there's gonna be nobody from Duke there, but I don't know how many Troy fans are gonna be there 2 days before Christmas either.
I don't know.
Perfect. I think
I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it.
Well, you got to pick something.
Well, I'm gonna take Troy.
Okay.
All right, you guys are wrong.
There we go.
Duke.
You might be right.
Georgia State is heading to Boise, Idaho. This is a great bowl game because they throw the French fries on you. You know what I mean? Sweet potato fries. How do you feel about sweet potato fries?
Bomb.
I like them.
Give me some honey mustard and some sweet potato fries.
I don't even know that I've ever had honey mustard with sweet potato fries.
That's a little strange. Sweet potato fries with honey mustard.
You never waited tables at Outback Steakhouse.
Very accurate. I did get completely shit hammered at an Outback Steakhouse though.
That's on brand.
What's that?
Sorry, and I waited tables at TGI Friday, so no, not Outback Steakhouse.
Same.
Who has the better honey mustard?
It's a great question. All I know is Outback has that bloomin' onion. And hello,
still repping that one?
Oh yeah, bloomin' onion never dies. You pick Dundee. You should fucking love that.
No. Look, we had Jerry Glanville on the show, and they owe him money. Outback Steakhouse, they charged his fucking card. You're still mad about that?
I want to plant a flag here.
Yeah.
Honey mustard is awful.
What?
Mustard is great, and then they had to sweeten it up. I don't want sweet mustard.
Mustard in general is a top condiment.
Fantastic, not honey mustard. Honey mustard ruins mustard.
I mean, I don't hate honey mustard, but I think just great mustard is great.
Well, how about this? It's yellow hot dog mustard or brown mustard.
Brown
mustard. Right.
All day.
Give me a Dijon, a spicy brown, a horseradish mustard.
Dijon is sweet mustard.
No. You're having the wrong one. Where the fuck you getting this from?
Ralph's.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Look, the mustard is a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament of condiments.
Plus, it's a healthy condiment, a lot more healthier than ketchup or mayonnaise.
Yeah, well, ketchup sucks. Ketchup's always been bullshit.
Let's talk about the fucking games.
Well, what are you gonna do with Georgia State in Idaho? This guy doesn't like our condiment talk, Nick.
I swear, I know.
Fucking guy. If we were talking Jaeger bombs or shots of Goldschlager,
I could go for 3 hours.
Be fucking talking Georgia State catching 2.5 or 3 in the Idaho Bowl. Yeah, it's Utah State.
All over Utah State
because
the fact that it's in Idaho, it's cold. The fact
altitude, all that shit.
Yeah, and I mean Levi Williams is going to be the starter for Utah State. He just ran for 150 and 3 touchdowns against New Mexico.
And you see what he just did?
No,
he joined the fucking Marines. This is the last game, and he's joining. He's going to fucking represent the red, the white, and the
blue.
There you go.
Send him out on a high note. Plus, the Georgia State defense completely fell apart. Well, they last 5 games they all lost, and they gave up 42 points per game. Utah State's a play here.
Wait, have you looked at who's gone too?
Yeah, I mean Marcus Carroll's on Mizzou for one.
Their best wide receiver is at Auburn, Robert Lewis. Their right tackle Montavious Cunningham, I also think was at Auburn, it was somewhere, and their top corner transferred out. I forget where the fuck he went to, but they got nobody. Smash spot.
The only scare thing is that this is 5th-year senior Darren Granger's last collegiate game. Maybe the team rallies around him and they try to win one for him, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Utah State's got no players out. I'll ride Utah State too. This is actually one where I'm going to ignore my logic.
Yes, this is a lock.
Long trip. Let me throw a couple things at you here. All right, things you might not be factoring in. Weather in Atlanta right now, 37 degrees. Weather in Utah, 38 degrees. So a little colder in Atlanta. Maybe the freezing weather doesn't.
That's just because it's 10:46 in Atlanta.
True. Okay. Maybe. Another thing. You guys remember the old launching pad, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium?
Oh yeah.
That was the launching pad because it was high altitude. Those Appalachian Mountains might not be as high as the Rockies, but I don't think it's going to have the impact that you're thinking it would have on most Southeastern teams. Still 2.5. I'm going to take Utah State. Then I'll lock it with you guys.
Go for that 3.
Lock.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We got some music for that. Welcome to the party, pal. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know where the fuck is my music here. Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty will stay together through thick or thin. I did want to check on. You said it's 38 degrees, but what's the weather Saturday? Saturday is a high at 36, a low at 24.
You want to check in Boise? Patty was mentioning Utah.
Yeah, true.
Oh.
True. I'm just saying, in Utah, they're getting used to 38 degree weather. In Atlanta, they're getting used to 37 degree weather.
Well, I'm going to keep the locks going because James Madison's got no one on their roster, no one coaching, and they're taking on a team that actually has everybody.
Yeah, I mean, let's just cut to the chase.
Air Force is a dog, in
Not
Texas,
everybody. Who's our guy? That's
John Lee Eldridge, but
Yeah.
I even think he might play. Knowing
true.
him, they get Zach Larrier, their starting quarterback back. This is a smash. Oh, JMU's team's in the portal.
How long was Larry
and no
out
coach?
for?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It doesn't
coach
matter
is.
who the quarterback is for Air Force.
yeah, it really
Yeah.
doesn't. This is
well,
this is
Larrier's a better passing.
Also,
quarterback
Air
than-
Force has won 4 straight bowl games against some pretty good teams, the likes of Washington State, Louisville, Baylor.
Yeah,
Last 4 years. Air Force is the obvious play here. Lock it up.
I hate to
lock
say
it up.
I agree. I'm not going to lock against my boys, but
Aim high, miss small.
things have it's been a rough offseason so far. You got Kurt Signetti. Why is he taking shots at JMU?
Is he?
I don't fucking
I saw
get
him
that.
taking shots at Ohio State, Michigan, and
Yeah, he was doing that
Purdue.
too.
Purdue. Yeah,
But he's sitting there with, he's got hashtag IU football, and he's got all this shit laid out on the table. JMU like roster, right? Or JMU like whatever that is, flyer. And then right on top of it, sticky pad, get players with an exclamation point. And he's like, he's got a lot of, it's either a massive oversight on his part or he's specifically taking a shot at JMU. But
I don't
That's
think it's a shot.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of I thought a lot of JMU fans were being douchebags, like wishing them you hate on the way out the door. It's like, dude, the dude won us a lot of games and send them off.
Yeah.
Don't
So
be-
send him out to be the next Mike Houston.
Right. Don't be
All right.
salty about it. But that was like, okay, is this dude? I mean, I think Kurt Signetti, for looking like a complete nerd, like might have a little more
I think
salt to him.
Well,
He's a
it
good
sounds
football
like
coach.
Eli Drinkwitz when he first got hired at Missouri. You
Yeah,
guys remember what he said?
that's a good
He said,
comparison.
our goal here is to win the Sun Belt. Remember that?
they
And
still
he
haven't
quickly
won the
said,
Sun Belt.
I'm in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, hilarious stuff. But I'm locking up Air Force. It's my favorite play on the whole fucking bowl season.
I'm with you.
Next up, South Alabama is laying 17 against Eastern Michigan. Where the hell is this game played? This is at Mobile, Alabama. See, can we get rid of that too? Because back in the day, it was supposed to be like, oh, you go the bowl games, you're going to go to a nice location. That's why they should just play it anywhere now. Because if you're going to Mobile,
I don't know. I'm guessing there have been some shitty bowl locations for a long time. Maybe when did the bowls really start to get out of control? Like
80s.
80s, 90s, probably.
90s.
Yeah. So yeah, before that you had Gator Bowl. You had like
That's what I'm saying. No,
Citrus Bowl.
yeah,
Most of them were in Florida.
Yeah,
or-
most of them were like Miami or Pasadena or some
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. Just I don't know. Well, anyway, South Alabama, that's a home game for them. They're playing at their home fucking stadium against Eastern Michigan. Colin Lacey, where did he go? Louisville. You see that, Nick?
Yep, I did.
Jeff Brohm just getting all these wideouts. Also, LaDamian Webb's opting out.
Well, here's another Max Sunbelt opportunity. Does this override the obvious pick, which I would think is South?
Well, the starting
Isn't that
quarterback,
obvious though?
the starting quarterback of Eastern Michigan,
Alabama. Ooh,
Austin Smith.
17. I don't know if it's that obvious.
Starting quarterback Austin Smith for Eastern Michigan. He's in the portal. He's gone. Offensive guard, starting offensive guard Zach Conti's gone, and a defensive end who was pretty good for them this year, Micah Coleman, gone. I still
for
think it's
South
Chris
Bama,
Creighton.
Carter Bradley, the quarterback, he's questionable, I think, due to injury issues. So I don't see how you lay this many points with South Bama, where you have their 3 best offensive players. Well, at least 2 of them definitely gone, and the third might not play either. So,
Oh, well,
good
Eastern
points.
Michigan just plays close games too. So
That used to be the case. They had a few close ones this year, but 19-point loss.
well, they kind of suck too.
yeah, they suck this year. So that's
Yeah.
another thing too.
But that's a testament to Chris Creighton, 6-6, and you suck.
True. They probably should have been like 4-8 this year.
They covered for me. I remember locking them up against Minnesota. They covered like the great sons of guns they are.
Of course,
not-
is Minnesota the only team below 500 in
Yeah.
the bowl?
Yeah.
They fucking suck this year too.
Good rushing offense though. I'm going to take a flyer on your Mac
Yeah.
theory here.
Take the 17. Take the 17. Let's go to Vegas, where the Utes are laying 6.5 against Northwestern. So let me get this straight. We got Cameron Rising never played. He was out for the year. Right before the season, the backup tore his ACL. He was out for the year. Then you had Nate Johnson, I believe, start the season. He's now at Vanderbilt. And Bryson Barnes, the pig farmer, is in the portal, but he's playing because he's a fucking pig farmer. We need more pig farmers on the football field.
Yeah, if you had shown me this line before the season started, Northwestern or Utah favored by less than a touchdown against Northwestern, I would fucking bet my life savings on it.
Check this out.
In Las Vegas?
Yeah, and you got Mikey Matthews, one of their wideouts, so it's pretty good for them. Portal. Devon Vele is opting out for the NFL draft. And one of their better corners, Travis Broughton, is opting out too. Northwestern's going to win this on the money line. Northwestern's got no one out that I know of right now.
Yeah, for me, this is a strict motivation play. Northwestern has to be extremely happy to be playing in a bowl. People thought these guys might not win a game this year, and they actually turned in a 7-5 record, surprised everybody. And meanwhile, Utah has no interest playing in a pre-Christmas bowl. You know, they had their sights set a whole lot higher.
Dude, Whittingham was like 13-1 or something crazy in bowl games before the transfer portal went crazy and opt-outs and shit. Now he can't win a fucking bowl game. I'm loading up again, on Northwestern. Yeah,
disagree and lock against both of you guys. When you look at Utah's 8-4 record this year, the losses came at Oregon State, against Oregon, at Washington, and at Arizona, all in the top 20.
But you realize they had Devon Vele, Mikey Matthews, Detravius Broughton.
This is a Kyle Whittingham coach team. They are next man up. They always have been. And Northwestern, they're one game against a.
You know why it's 6.5 for people like you, all right?
Well, it's maybe I'm stupid, but maybe I'm also looking at the two ranked games that Northwestern played this year. A 24-point loss against Duke and a 28-point loss against Penn State.
That was a tie game at halftime.
Yeah, well, it's a 4-quarter game, there, buddy. Utah is gonna
Northwestern money line.
Utah by 10
money line. Let's go to Hawaii. Brent Brennan, you know, he's related to Colt Brennan, and he showed up on the island in a Colt Brennan uniform.
He's his uncle. Is that what it is?
Yeah. San Jose State's laying 10. They have their starting tight end Dominic Mazzotti hit the portal. Also, their starting left tackle Fernando Carmano is in the portal. But Coastal Carolina, who the fuck is starting for them, NC Nick? Because McCall's gone. Jared Guest Jeans is gone. Wide receiver Jared Brown is gone. Running back CJ Beasley's gone. Linebacker JT Killen is gone. What the hell are we looking at over there in Conway?
Well, Ethan Vasco is going to be the quarterback. And he actually played decent because 3 quarterbacks got a decent amount of snaps this year due to injuries. But yeah, I mean, the roster is depleted. And that's one reason why you might like San Jose State. Other reasons is that they're one of the hottest teams in the country, winning 6 in a row to get here. Plus, they got robbed from going in the Mountain West Championship game. Plus, it's the last
on the
game.
Shoulder.
6-year senior quarterback Chevin Cordillera, who's from where?
Hawaii.
Coming home. I'm all over San Jose State here. I think they roll. And I'll lock this one up.
Yeah. Plus, our last glimpse at Coastal Carolina was a 42-point home loss against the James Madison Dukes. So, with the opportunity to get into the conference championship game on the line, that's what they produced.
I'm going back to my metrics here. 10 points is too much. I think San Jose State is the obvious play. So give me Coastal Carolina plus the points.
Give me San Jose State and the regression of losing homeboy to Liberty. Chadwell starts to become very apparent as of this game.
Ooh, there you go. Moving along. We only got a couple more games. You don't have to hear us talk this bullshit. Bowling Green. It's heading to that terrible stadium, one of the worst stadiums in the country, Ford Field. NC Nick, I know you've been to this shithole.
I have.
Minnesota is laying 3.5 in Detroit. I'm all over Minnesota here strictly because Bowling Green beat them at Minnesota. What, like a year and a half ago? This is revenge. Scotty Leffler's not gonna be able to handle this heat. I know the Greek pellet gun is gone. But who cares? Give me Minnesota. Smash that 3.5. There's a reason why it's 3.5. Smash it. That's a lock. I'll see you at the fucking winner's circle. Looks like we got a gopher. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I disagree. I'm going to go Bowling Green here. I'm not going to pick the freaking 5-7 team who shouldn't even be here. And they're going to start a quarterback who couldn't beat out the Greek rifle. That's a scary thought. So give me Bowling Green, man.
Nope.
Honestly, too, this team should be 4-8. You know, we all know Cooper DeJean should have been awarded that touchdown. That was a bullshit win they had got there.
Fair.
And look,
but 4-8 Minnesota still better than Bowling Green.
Bowling Green ended the season winning 5 of their last 6. Their one loss was a 1-point loss against Toledo, who went 12-1.
Yeah, read me that competition that they went through.
I mean, Minnesota played in the Big Ten West.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. But they
Buffalo, Akron, Ball State, Kent State, and Western Michigan were their wins. Okay, maybe not that impressive.
They're gonna get worked. They're gonna lose this. They're gonna get fucked up.
They only lost to Liberty by 10. They only lost to Michigan by 25.
They're gonna get destroyed 17-7.
I was gonna say the most points Minnesota scored all year was 30, and a loss to Purdue 49-30.
Okay.
Give me the Falcons.
17-7.
Give me the Falcons.
It's a lock. It's a fucking lock. Minnesota's getting it done.
Bowling Green owns Minnesota.
You're not in the Matrix.
Minnesota.
You're not in the Matrix. I see it.
You see the numbers?
I see it.
Still trying to drop that Minnesota thing that's just not picking up steam.
Yeah, well, I'm the only person on earth saying it, but yeah,
well, exactly, because nobody really likes it.
Do you understand what mid means? Are you hip, Nick? Do you know what the kids are saying these days?
Mid, average.
Mid is 5-7 and shouldn't even be fucking in a bowl. They are the definition of mid, and they are Minnesota. I don't care if you like it. I'm gonna say it.
The thing is, like, you can say it and people can't really hear it. They still kind of saying Minnesota. You're saying Minnesota. Really cool.
Yeah, it just sounds like I have a
lot of
cold,
heat,
which I do.
You're taking a lot of heat on this episode, buddy.
You know, I'm gonna keep it going. It's gonna catch fire. Chat, help me here. Minnesota. Let's make this thing. Let's make it happen.
Texas State is taking on Rice. Where the fuck is this game? Fort Worth, maybe, I think. Yeah, General Ford Stadium.
Dallas. The Pro First Responder Bowl. Heroes.
Texas State is laying 5.5. I personally think that means for sure Rice. I know JT Daniels is medically retired. He's been, let me tell you something, JT, you've been medically retired for 5 fucking years. All right. This is a smash spot. No, I'm joking.
I just think it's fantastic that someone who's like in his mid-20s can retire from anything. So that's awesome.
No, you know what? Everything's telling me to take Rice in the points, which is why I'm taking Texas State. Back to my logic. Give me Texas State minus 5.5. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna go Rice. Actually, this is my Sun Belt 1-4 in bowl games so far. Maybe this is where Rice can at least cover this against another Sun Belt team that has not had a stellar postseason thus far.
Yeah, Patty C, what are you doing here in the Texas, the two-step?
With exception to that Arkansas State game where they got 77 hung on them, Texas State has been the far more impressive team to me all throughout the year. So I'm going to take a Texas State.
Rice was playing Texas close to halftime. Texas, they got them in the Invitational.
It's true.
JT Daniels.
First Responders Bowl. Where is that?
Fort Worth. Dallas.
Yeah, they didn't really have to travel that far.
Yeah.
Better be able to fill that stadium out.
All right, folks. Look, before we get to the next one, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you with killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll be having at that very event. So what are you doing, folks? Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Game Time tickets also make the perfect holiday gift. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create the account, redeeming code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame bets app or visit HOFbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. All right. Got a couple more classics. The Jayhawks are in Arizona taking on UNLV. The line is 12.5. Ridiculous. Kansas lost a couple of guys on the offensive line. Well, one guy on the defensive line. Their offensive coordinator is now at Penn State. UNLV, I think, only lost like a linebacker or no safety. But I think this line, people think it's ridiculous. I'm laying the 12.5 with Kansas because I think everyone, including myself, said, "Hey, well, let's take UNLV in the points because we don't know who the fuck is playing quarterback for Kansas." But I'm laying the 12.5 with the Jayhawks. Leipold, my guy, lay the 12.5. Patty, see what are you doing here?
So wait, what's the deal with Daniels and Bean?
Daniels is out until next season. Bean's probably not going to play this game, but I have no fucking idea. But yeah, it's a mystery, man.
Meanwhile, Odom presumably has them dialed in. The late season slump is a little bit concerning for UNLV, but 12.5. It's a little tricky. I think they got it about right. No. I'm gonna say UNLV.
I thought it should have been like a 9-point spread, 8-point spread.
Maybe.
The fact that 12.5 is why you take Kansas.
Yeah, I guess maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah. And see, Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm going to go UNLV. This is another motivation play. This is their first bowl game since 2013. Only their second bowl appearance in the last 20 years. I think they come out here and just, lay it on the line. I don't think Kansas is all that motivated to play in this game the day after Christmas.
How did Leipold do in year 1 in the bowl game, or year 2? I guess it was.
They lost in overtime to Arkansas,
but he put on they
scored 55 points or something. Yeah.
I guess Leipold doesn't strike me as the type of dude that's going to let his team let down in a bowl game setting.
True. That's why I'm on the Jayhawks. It's just pretty simple stuff here.
Because I understand how the bastard thinks. I taught him. Now I own one.
You didn't teach him that.
I didn't teach him, but
I think how
I repped it. Yeah. Wednesday, we're gonna go through all the Wednesday games, then we're out. All right. Virginia Tech, Tulane. Guess what? Tulane's whole team's gone. All coaching staff gone. Michael Pratt gone. The backup Kai Horton gone.
Still,
they're
Tech
on a third
favored
string
by 10.5.
They're on a third.
Is it too easy to take Virginia Tech? Sorry, Colby. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
They're on a third string quarterback. They got wide receiver Chris Brazell the second gone. He's led the team in receptions. Their best tight end Alex Bowman gone. DJ Douglas on the defensive side of the ball. Both their defensive linemen gone. Virginia Tech's got one guy, Daquan Wright, who's gone. A tight end who had 366 yards. But look, this is in Annapolis. It's a sellout because all those Hokie fans there. It's gonna be cold as shit, probably. Can we get some weather check on Annapolis, Patty? Actually, no, that's next Wednesday. Never mind. Look, I think everyone's going to be on the Hokies. That's why I give me Tulane plus 10.5.
I was wondering if might do that. Look, I mean, I guess you have a point to that, but I'm going to take Virginia Tech here. I just think that their trajectory is going upward. They're happy to be here. They're happy to make a bowl after such a tough season a year ago and a slow start to this season. So I think there's going to be some drone sightings in Annapolis.
Patty C.
I mean, yes, I think that based on what you said about Tulane missing everyone, Tech having some pretty jaw-dropping performances toward the end of the year. I think a lot of those are against terrible teams, though.
Yeah.
When they played good teams, they still got their ass whooped, and I think Tulane's a good team. I think 10.5 is way too many. I'm on the green wave.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
North Carolina is heading to Charlotte. Take on the Mountaineers of West Virginia. West Virginia's laying 6.5. Wait a second here. West Virginia's playing for something here, but they did lose their starting center, Zach Frazier. Defensive lineman Mike Lockhart, who was second in sacks on the team, gone. Safety Hershey McLaughlin. Safety, 44 tackles, sack, 3 pass deflections on the season, gone. North Carolina Drake Mays gone. Tez Walker. NC Nick had a great point. He wanted to play in front of his family, right? And he only got 3 or 4 games, and then all of a sudden he has an opportunity, and he says no.
That whole sob story. He wanted to play in front of his sick grandmother.
What a crock of shit, man.
Meanwhile, he went to West Charlotte High School, and this game is in Charlotte, North Carolina. He could play in front of her.
What a crock of shit.
Yeah, you got to play whatever angle you got.
What's that angle? Get to the NFL healthy?
No, he's saying the angle to try to get eligibility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year.
Still, play fucking football. Safety. Their starting center, Corey Gaynor, gone. Linebacker, Cedric Gray, gone. Look, West Virginia is a 6.5 point favorite.
Who is the guy that they denied on North? Tez
Walker. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Wait.
You'll have to excuse my friend Colby. He's a little slow.
Picking up a little bit late on that one.
The town is back that way.
The fuck is that shit?
I missed who we were talking about. I'm a fucking idiot. So when did he get eligibility? He got like what, mid-season?
Like it was like November 1st or something. I feel like he played 3 games.
Immediately dominated. Yeah, so maybe NFL. I mean, obviously, I think that, but
whatever. Play in the fucking game. You want your family to see you. You're in Charlotte. Yeah. Here's your opportunity.
Yeah, let someone dangle $1 million in front of your face and see if you want to play in this.
I'll fucking play every time. Life's gonna hit you one way or the other. I don't buy into that bullshit. What did Mike Leach say? The great Mike Leach. Life, take risk in life, right? I'm fucking this up, but he said, he said we'll be dead in 100 years. Take the highest of risk in life. Let's go.
I like it. Swing your sword.
So you're on UNC.
I am, because West Virginia seems so obvious. Give me Carolina plus 6.5. Sprinkle the money line.
The other guy you didn't mention is CJ Donaldson is out with an injury for West Virginia, but I don't think that matters because true freshman running back Jaheim White is a baller. And that's why I'm going to ride West Virginia.
How
it's too obvious, man. Chalk City over there.
You're right with the people out and the line at 6.5. True, but I don't want to pick UNC. Come on.
Connor Harrell is getting the start.
I got no idea who's getting the start.
6 attempts all year long. It's tough to pick on that guy. I'm gonna go Dub V.
Next, let's go to the Holiday Bowl at Petco Park in Los Angeles. I'm actually thinking about going to this game. Yeah, Louisville at USC.
Is it in Los Angeles or San Diego?
San Diego at the Padres Stadium, which is I like that stadium. I like football at baseball stadiums, and this game's completely useless, but it's a good way to have a few cocktails and enjoy life. Defensive end Cameron Wilson is out for Louisville. Obviously, USC's top 2 quarterbacks now, Caleb Wilson and Malachi Nelson's gone. The running back Marshawn Lloyd, is opting out, and Jerry Rice's son. You would think Jerry Rice could not say, you know what, son, if you play this game, you have fun. Football is fun. And guess what? I'm rich as fuck. So if you get injured, we're going to be fine.
You
want your own money, though. You don't want daddy's money.
Can't you insure yourself?
Yeah, but if you're talking about, being an NFL, the greatest receiver in NFL history,
play a fucking
maybe
game.
having a similar career yourself, hopefully.
That's the same. That's like what I'm saying now is that like back in like the 80s, early 90s, like there were like career-ending injuries, like a torn ACL or something. That's not really the case anymore.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, Anthony Poindexter, we did that check on that. He's still making like $1 million a year as a defensive coordinator. His life worked out pretty fucking okay. All right. Yeah, he could have made a little bit
For
more.
For every Anthony Poindexter, I'm sure there's a shit ton of dudes that are working at Kmart now. Bagging.
Present them to me.
I don't know. Yeah.
Present them to me. What's money only brings you problems. You know what I mean? Like what bank account to use. All right.
Right. Big problems. USC 7.5 point dogs in Southern California.
I would play though. I mean, come on. Play these fucking games. What are you doing?
Well, who the hell we taking here? I guess I'm gonna go USC here. I don't know.
I'm all over USC. The ACC never beats teams on the West Coast. All right, the ACC is like 1-40 in their last like 50 fucking games on the West Coast.
The hook might be telling you something. Might be begging you to take USC.
Take USC money line.
Louisville, meanwhile, played Florida State pretty well. Should have beaten Kentucky. Should have had.
They actually played Florida State terribly, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, their defense played Florida State well.
Okay.
But it's just that half point. That hook is scaring me. I'm going to take USC, I guess. But a lot, like you said, a lot of people missing at USC. And is Brohm the type of dude that's going to let down in a bowl game? But Lincoln Riley's probably mad as fuck about today, his recruiting class finishing at in like near 20. That ain't cutting it. A lot of pressure from the fans, I'm sure. He wants to show out.
They get it done at the Holiday Bowl. Give me USC money line play. Final game on the slate: Texas A&M, who's got their whole roster gone, is taking on Oklahoma State. You guys ready for this? Texas A&M, obviously, you know their head coach Jimbo Fisher was fired. Their interim head coach is now already hired as an assistant at Syracuse. They have more than this, but this is just the key ones. Max Johnson, their starting quarterback, is out. Their previous starting quarterback, Connor Wegman, is out as well. Starting tight end, Jake Johnson, is out. Starting offensive lineman, Chase Bazantis is out. Defensive lineman, Walter Nolan, 5-star, out. Fadil Diggs, out on the defensive line. Cornerback, Bryson Anderson, out. Cornerback, Tyreek Chappelle, out. Deuce Harmon, out. Anina Smith, out. Evan Stewart, out. Those are 2-star wideouts for them. Offensive guard, Layden Robinson, out. Defensive tackle, McKinley Jackson, out. Linebacker, Edgerrin Cooper, out. The fuck are we doing here? On the other side, Oklahoma State's got a couple guys, right? Jaden Bray is gone. Mike Gundy wins these bowl games. I'm all over this. Give me the Cowboys. Get it done.
For sure. Lock it up.
Yeah. They had a better year. It's not exactly a long trip down to the Texas Bowl. I think, obviously having your head coach intact, a nice feature as well. Yeah, let's go Oklahoma State.
Gundy's 11-6 in bowl games.
So I'm saying, let's go. Ride the mullet.
Do it.
Lock it up, folks.
Lay us out on that music. Hell yeah.
Yes, that's our show. This is the College Football Experience. We'll be back next week, probably from remote. We won't be in studio. And we will be talking about the Invitational, the 4-team bullshit Invitational. We will cover each one of those bullshit games.
The last of these stupid small
and
playoffs.
some stupid bowl games. We're going to cover it all. We also have the FCS National Championship. By the way, North Dakota State, Montana. Woo! That was a fucking classic.
I hear.
Anyway, check out all that good stuff. I'm back in the College Basketball Experience in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. It's raining in Los Angeles, actually probably 3 hours because I have to drive home and it's raining in Los Angeles. But yeah, folks, subscribe. Give Patty C a follow on Twitter, Patty C831, NC Nicks on Twitter at NC__NICK. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And guess what? Happy fucking holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone in the chat. Anyone listening to this throughout the years, even if you only listened once and thought I was a fucking piece of shit, then guess what? Merry Christmas and fuck you. Let's go. Yeah. Happy holidays. Want to wish everyone a great, happy, safe holidays. Go get some alcoholic eggnog. Go get some, what else they have? Those gumdrop cookies. What are those
candy
fucking
cane.
Candy canes. Have a fucking candy cane. What do you like? Those fruit candy canes? Or you like the actual mint candy cane?
Depends on the mood. But when I was a kid, I liked the fruit.
Cane. Get rid of
Yeah?
candy canes. Suck.
Yeah, it's kind of a fact.
Awful.
Why do they?
I'd rather have candy corn than candy canes.
Ooh,
No. That is
no.
a terrible fucking take.
Yeah.
That is a filth. Where's Mike Leach again? All right. Folks, so have a wonderful, wonderful holidays, and we appreciate each and every listen every single time. And yeah, and we'll be back before the New Year's, but in case it's the holidays, you're running around chasing scattered ass, you don't listen to us, Happy New Year as well. And yeah, looking forward to next week's show because the Invitational, although incorrect, again,
This is the conclusion of the season.
yeah, we got some.
It's been a
football
long road, and there's still some football to be played.
Yeah. Shout out to Weehawk, who's spending Christmas evening at the casino. There we go. There we go. Harrison, where's that? Fucking Charlotte? I don't know.
Yeah, true G-Gen.
Cherokee.
Yeah, Cherokee. Shout out to that.
Weehawk, Mr. Bad Santa himself.
Are you to be sitting there watching people play volleyball like Billy Bob Thornton was? Like, I guess it's probably too cold for that over there.
Like cigarette hanging on one lip, on his bottom lip.
Drinking like a fifth of vodka. Just boom. Folks, go watch Bad Santa. And by the way, go listen to our college football bottom line bombs that we just released with me and CJ Sullivan. We talk about the best Christmas movies, the essentials that you should be watching. Check it out, folks. Until next time, happy holidays. Much love from the college football experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run, shoot.